for our community. As we begin heading towards Passover, we have generous donors who are matching every gift made to IJS through the first Seder, which is so beautiful. So if you support, then it will be matched. Your support will help us enhance our young adult programming, highly, highly important to our work. And that's between now and April 3rd. All gifts being matched one-to-one to support our efforts to meet young adults wherever they are. So the link is there for that. Second, join the entire IJS faculty to learn the Jewish practice that helps you be your best self, the practice of working with the Sfirot, the Midot, during the Omer, during the period between Pesach and Shavuot. Registration is open for the Awareness in Action course for the Omer. And then just so you know, we'll be also working with those qualities in our yoga practice as we go through. So check out those links and let's get started. All right, my friends. So we're going to begin on our backs. Welcome, welcome. If you're just hopping on, today is the 20th of Adar. I'll move this our view. And we are finishing up the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot, this week. So coming onto your back, find constructive rest position, which is knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor, elbows to the sides, resting your hands on your low ribs or your low belly. And just feel your breath coming and going. Belly rising, rib cage expanding, chest rising. And as you exhale, belly softening and retreating away from your hands toward the back body. So let the breath be easy, coming and going through the nose. We're going to start with a couple of activation, little movement exercises that from the top and the bottom of the spine that also activate through our core, through the center, through the abdomen. And the first is like this. We're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, press the back of the head to the floor and hold it through the exhale. The chin tucks slightly, and then you can release. So as you do this, I just want to talk about what happens here. What we're doing is awakening and activating the small muscles of the neck. And what helps to hold neck and head in alignment. So you'll feel kind of the neck activating and the maybe upper shoulders, but I'm asking you to also feel the ripple effect further down the spine and notice as you press the back of the head to the floor, how the abdominal muscles engage slightly and wrap. And so the spine comes into alignment and the abdominal muscles fire as well as these small muscles of the neck. It's subtle, so if you don't sense it or feel it, that's fine. Don't worry. You're not doing it wrong. It might take a while to notice it, but just observe what you do observe. As you engage that. And then pause, and we're going to go to the other end of the spine and do a little bit of pelvic tilt. So as we inhale, the belly fills. And as we exhale, we press the low back to the floor, flatten out the lower back curve and lengthen the tailbone, right? And then as we inhale, we come back to neutral. And as we do this pelvic tilt on the exhale, flattening out the curve, lengthening, Notice an engagement through the abdomen or a lengthening. Maybe you feel some release of the muscles just below the rib cage and back. You can always take a breath to recover in the middle and then go back to it, just inhaling, filling, exhaling, pelvic tilt. So we're just noticing a very, very subtle awakening of small muscle groups and firing up of the core. And then come back to neutral and pause. And just take a little windshield wiper of the knees side to side. It could be very, very little, or the knees could come all the way down towards the floor. You decide what you need, but just starting to move the synovial fluid in the hips, feeling a shift across the back of the pelvis. Just a slow and easy, gentle, compassionate warm up for the body. And then from here, hug both knees to the chest. And as you do this, you can have knees more together or the knees more apart. You can take the hands and clasp them around the shins or just have the hands on the knees, whatever works for you. But as you hug the knees, prioritize here a softening in the hip creases. You can rock it a little side to side if you like. A softening in the hip creases and a settling of the abdominal muscles, pelvic floor muscles to the back body. It's just an image, really, of softening. Just a soft abdomen. And ease in the fold of the hips. And as you keep that ease and you continue to hug the right knee, extend the left leg long. If that works for you, we're taking a little stretch for the hip flexor on the left as we continue to be really easy through that hip crease on the right. So the priority here is a softening and ease, just and finding holiness in that softening. And then switch sides. Left knee in, right leg long. Extend if you like, flexing the right heel. Just checking out what you feel in the hip flexor on the right as you continue a really deep softening on the left. And then one more time, switch sides, hug the right, extend the left. And switch, hug the left, extend the right. And release, and one more time, hug both knees in, rock it a little side to side. See where you can find greater ease. A real generosity with the body, a sense that in our practice, we're just bringing the gift of our presence to our own self, physical, emotional, psychic. And you can stay here on the floor or come up to a comfortable seat. I'm going to share a little teaching, whatever makes you feel most comfortable. As I said, we are finishing the book of Shemot. And Rachel, if you will put into the chat the chant, we're going to remind ourselves of the words from Parshat Truma. Ve'asuli mikdash. Make for me a place of kodesh, holiness. V'shachanti b'tocham, and I'll dwell among them. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. The Asuli Mikdash, V'shachanti b'tocham, v'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. A living sanctuary, the Mishkan. So we are finishing the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. We're moving from winter into spring. It's a time of completion. It's a time of change. We're looking at the final two parshiot, and remember the last 5 Torah portions have been concerning themselves with the Mishkan. We're looking at Vayakel and Pekudei. Vayakel is talking about making sacred space. Pekudei is talking about anointing and consecrating it. So bringing all the gifts forward to complete the Mishkan. The word lev, heart, is mentioned 14 times in Vayakel. Chochmat lev, the wisdom of the heart, intelligence is often the translation of the wisdom of the heart. Nidivut lev, the generosity of the heart. These are said over and over and over. Bitzalel is identified as the chief artisan, the chief architect for the Mishkan. And the Torah says, V'yimaleh oto ruach Elohim. He was filled with the spirit of God. So many gifts were brought to contribute to the Mishkan that there were too many. And Moses had to tell the Israelites, it's enough, you have to stop. So how do we just let our gifts pour forth? And Pekudei, the Mishkan is finished. All the efforts are recounted, the materials used, all counted and recorded. Aaron and his sons are brought forward, they're washed, they're anointed, and they're consecrated as priests, as Kohanim. Lichunat olam ledorotam. Their anointing shall serve them for everlasting priesthood throughout the ages. And Moses sets up the altar. Exodus chapter 40, verse 34, when Moses had finished the work, the cloud covered the tent of the meeting, and the presence of God, the kavod, the honor, the glory of God, of Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, filled the tabernacle, the Mishkan. Vayechas ha'anan et ohel moed, uchvod Adonai Yud-Heh Vav-Heh maleh et ha-Mishkan. And the Israelites had God's protection of cloud by day and fire by night as they travel through the desert, and that's the end. And then, of course, we repeat the words chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. We should be strengthened as we end a book of Torah. So the question here on the mat: how do we attend to the Mishkan of the dwelling place, the inner dwelling, divine dwelling of body, home, sacred space, peoplehood, community, planet that connects us with the divine? On the mat, we create in our practice an inner Mishkan. Call it the words that you find, maybe presence or stability or divinity or grounding. And we can take, just like the Israelites, we can take this inner sacred Mishkan, this place, with us wherever we travel. It's here, it's inside. So our practice really teaches us that. All right, let's continue with a little embodiment here. Coming to all fours and sitting back, either the buttocks to the heels, or if you like, the buttocks in the air and the arms forward. So it's either puppy or it's child. And extend the arms forward. That softening that we did in the hip creases just continues, very yummy, very soft. Making space. And then walking the hands and the torso over to the right, extending particularly the left arm, the left fingertips. A bit of a side bend and opening from the left hip, wrist, and through the fingers. And then coming back through center and walking it over to the left and extending particularly the right arm. And just find that side opening. And we make this inner Mishkan by creating space. And then coming up, taking a little bit of cat and cow, arching and curling. Inhaling as you arch and exhaling as you curl. Dropping the navel on the inhale, letting the belly be soft, and then drawing the navel up toward the spine on the exhale. And then coming back to center, we'll thread the needle, inhaling the right arm out to the right, exhale, thread it behind the left wrist, lay the shoulder down. Press into the left fingertips as you get a little twist for the rib cage. Tapping into sensation. See what you feel. And then slowly release and switch sides, inhaling the left arm, threading behind the right wrist, pressing into those right fingertips if you like for a little more twist. And just feel into this, any sensations. And then come on up. We're going to take a low lunge, stepping the right foot forward. If you want the blanket or any support cushion under your left knee. And if you'd like to raise up on blocks or hold onto a chair, you can, or maybe just letting everything come on down, hanging a little forward, letting the torso come onto the right thigh, if you like. Any way you'd like to take this lunge to elicit helpful sensation and stretch. Perhaps pulsing the hips forward and back. And then sit the hips back, straighten out through the right leg, flex through the right toes, stretching that hamstring. And then switching sides however you would like. Bringing that left foot forward. Feeling into the other side here. And then draw the hips back, sit it back, flex through those left toes, coming into a hamstring stretch for the other side. From here, shift forward once again, step the right foot forward to meet the left, bend the knees a lot. Let the hips drop a little bit, just an easy kind of ragdoll where the torso is supported by the thighs. Let the head go. And then press into the feet, draw the navel to the spine and roll it up vertebra by vertebra, slowly coming on up. When you reach the top, take a couple of circles with the shoulders. Just rolling your shoulders. Maybe you want to involve the elbows or a little backstroke in the arms. A little shake out of the arms. And then coming on. Just making space in the body. Quiet presence and heart in the process. We're going to take a side bend. You can either keep the hips, the feet hip width apart, or bring them together, however you would like. And yogi's choice on this side bend. So a few options. We're going to side bend to the right. A few options are hand on the hip and the arm up, or arms up and steepled, or you can even cradle the head as you come over to the side, kind of like this. See what you would like. That's actually quite nice. See what you would like for a side bend that just will open up the left side of the body as you side bend to the right. Let this practice be your own. If you're unsure, you can always follow me, but really I'm inviting you to dive into your own body and see the best way to accomplish the movement I'm suggesting, as long as it's, indicated and okay for your body. And then as you're ready, come on up and you can take that side bend to the other side. You may want it the same way, you may want it a little differently. And then come on up. And from here, we're going to take some hip circles, just nice and gooey, hands on the hips, feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Imagine like you're just going on a slow hula hoop circle around. Again, just tapping into sensation. And then go the other way. And then from here, widen the feet, turn the toes to face the edges of the mat. And we're going to go into goddess pose. A few choices. You can let the arms hang, or you can have the hands on your hips, or you can take the arms up at shoulder height. Goal post here. And you can come in and out a little bit if you want a little movement for this, or you can come in and stay, or some combination of both. But we're inhaling and then we're exhaling and dropping in. So just see how you want to be with this pose. As you build a little heat for the thighs as you get a little opening, for the inner legs, the adductors, strengthen the outer hips, the glutes. And again, just like when we started and we sort of found that light firing up through the abdomen, notice how this movement, whether you're moving or holding, how the core muscles interface here. Soft gaze, soften the muscles around and behind the eyes. Good. And then from here, a little shake out of the legs, maybe a turn of the feet, opening the ankles, see what you need. Next, we are going to move to warrior two. To the right, jumping both feet apart, wide legs. Turn the left toes in and the right toes out. And we'll just find the outline of the movement before we come in and hold, bending and straightening through that right knee. The left leg is straight. So we don't even have to go very far into this pose. See what works for you. And you're not going to bend any more than 90 degrees in that right knee. And then coming up, inhale the arms, shoulder height, extend through the fingertips, exhale, gazing over the right fingertips, bending the right knee. Hold for as many breaths as you would like. When you're ready, come on up, turn the feet. Same thing, other side, just bending and straightening through that left knee. And take a note of your alignment, the front heel, bisecting the back arch. We don't want to have any pain or strain in the knees or anywhere else as we work. It should be with ease. And then coming on up, inhale the arms, shoulder height. Engage the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, bend the knee. A few breaths here. You're done. Release. We're going to turn the left toes to face forward, both toes facing forward or even a little bit in. Wide stance. We're going to take a wide leg forward fold. You may want to place your hands on props, whether it's chair, sofa, blocks, something as you come forward. If the hamstrings are tight, hands to the hips. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Gaze up, lift the sternum. Exhale, creasing at the hips, folding forward. And see where you want to be. Maybe it's flat back. Maybe you want the head to come all the way down towards the floor. A sense of chokhmat lev, intelligence that stems from the heart, and a sense of nidivut lev, a generosity of the heart, are qualities we can extend to ourselves in practice. Just like these qualities were brought to build the Mishkan. And then slowly unraveling, hands to hips. Inhale, lift up, gaze up. Exhale, come back to neutral. Bring the feet together or towards each other. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart space. And just take a moment to pause and observe how you feel. See how it is in your internal world. If you set a kavanah, an intention before practice, just check in with that word or phrase. Reconnect with it or recommit to it. And then you can release your hands and we'll come to the floor. Up to the floor, lying on the back. We will take figure 4. So knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor, and then take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee, just above the knee. Again, looking for that ease through the back of the pelvis. So just start there with a little rocking side to side in this figure 4. And then take the whole structure, if you like, and draw it in toward you. Thread the hands behind the left thigh. Light flex on that right foot. Just bring it in. And you are in charge of the amount of sensation here. See what's needed. And so you can generate by pulling or by releasing just exactly the amount of sensation you want to be breathing with here. A lot of us hold quite a bit in the hips, very natural. So this one can be very intense. Simple but intense. And then release, and we'll take the other side. Left ankle just above the right knee. Draw the, let's just start with a little side to side rocking. And then if you like, bring the whole structure in towards the chest. Release. And last but not least, we'll take a twist. And yogi's choice here. You might extend the right leg and draw the left knee in towards the chest and take the left knee across the body. You might take both knees in towards the chest and then take them down to the side. You decide. And just finding the amount of twists that's right for you today. And you can make it as static or dynamic as you like. And then when you're ready, change sides. And then after you've held your twist as long as you'd like, come on back to center. You can take any last movement that you'd like before settling into stillness. Might be hugging the knees to the chest, a little rocking again, side to side, or even front to back. Rocking along the spine might be happy baby, taking hold of the outside of the soles of the feet, or just any other movement or final poses or stretches. And then settle into stillness whenever you are ready. Lying down on the back, either extended fully, classical Shavasana, arms by the sides, palms facing up, 6 to 8 inches or so from the sides of the hips, legs extended, about mat width apart, just letting them go. Maybe you want constructive rest, perhaps a fetal position. A few minutes, just quiet integration for the nervous system. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Give yourself a nice yawn, sigh, stretch, opening the body. And take your time to find your way back up to a tall, easy, comfortable seat in any way you like. Finding, building, consecrating, making sacred the inner Mishkan, dwelling place of stability, presence, grounding, ease, divine voice, divine presence. Let's join together once again at the chant. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ve'asuli mikdash ve'shachanti betocham v'anachnu nevarech yam ve'ata ve'ad olam. Allowing yourself as a chatima, as a seal on practice. A couple more deep breaths. Feeling the space of the torso in and out. You can allow your eyes to open. Thank you all for practicing Shavua Tov. We're here for Q&A for the next little bit.